Hi, I'm Lou Glassberg, and I'm the director of To the Worst of Us.
Hi, I'm Eli Carey, and I wrote the show.
Hi, I'm Alice Harwood, and I stage managed.
We wanted to pop in and thank you all for taking the time to watch and support our show. We know that doing and watching theater has become very different in this pandemic, which is why this show has become so important to us and our cast.
If you are willing and able, we ask you go to the link in the description of this YouTube video and donate what you can to Grant High School's theater department. If you're unable to donate, we would also appreciate you sharing this with your friends, as the best publicity is often word of mouth.
Either way, we are so excited to share this piece with you. Before you watch, however, we do want to warn you about some of the content in our show. To the Worst of Us features intense themes of suicide, threats of violence, and loud noises like fireworks, along with audible vomiting and imagery of fake blood. There's also some brief usage of strong language, so be sure to watch at your own discretion.
Again, thank you so much and enjoy the show.
This is insanity.
You've said that 3 times already.
Because it is! You know, in all my years I've never once been late for anything.
We still have some time.
Not enough time, Tom. Not enough time.
You're being quite dramatic, Caden. It's just a small service.
How was I supposed to know there'd be a mass of protesters blockading access to the parking lot?
There are protesters?
Yes, dozens, outside the hotel.
What are they protesting?
Beats me. That's not the point. The point is now I have no time to get ready, and I'm going to look absolutely ridiculous for this
You
funeral.
look fine to me.
Maybe by your standards. Why are you running late?
I've been here all morning.
Why are you waiting to get dressed till now?
I didn't. I've been ready for hours. It's just, when you called in a panic, I felt bad, so I wanted to sympathize. So I stripped down so I could frantically get ready with you. And it's been quite fun. Now you don't have to worry about looking fashionably terrible for George's funeral. This is already so much more exciting than my trip to Amsterdam.
You were in Amsterdam?
Yes, I did a semester there. My mommy offered, well, forced me to go. She said there wasn't enough tequila in the penthouse for her to keep me around.
So she sent you to Amsterdam?
Yes.
How was it?
Oh, it was marvelous. I've never seen a more beautiful place. There were bars everywhere. You know, I studied with this incredibly intelligent philosopher, Edison Turtwig. He owns mansions in 17 different countries. He taught me all about the mythic entertainments and obscure powers of our human nature.
He's a wizard?
No, he's a philosopher. Listen to me. Did you know it's possible to tell if someone is lying simply by the way they flex their eyebrows?
That's absurd.
It's true. Tell me a lie.
You look great in that suit.
You're not lying. That is in fact true.
You studied with a con man.
A connoisseur of the mythic entertainments?
Whatever. How's your mom doing?
I don't know. She won't let me come home.
Where have you been staying then?
I've been crashing at Marty's. His parents are weird.
Weird how?
They have very loud intercourse.
How is Marty doing anyways?
Normal.
So, extremely obnoxious and worried?
Yes, pretty much.
There's nowhere else you could have stayed?
You tell me where. Clementine would have killed me, and I don't think I have the patience to deal with Maria.
I guess you made the right choice then. What about Ruby?
What about Ruby?
You could have asked her.
I would never dream of asking her that.
Why not?
Speaking of Ruby, how are things between you two?
What do you mean?
Come on, Caden. Rumors don't stay rumors long. It's hard to keep secrets nowadays.
We're fine. I don't know, we aren't really talking. Plus, I'm not sure right now is the best time considering everything.
I suppose you're right. You should try talking to her this weekend. You might be surprised.
You're an optimist, Tom.
I try my best.
How do I look?
Like a needle in a haystack. You know, Sarah's really glad you're back. She spoke highly of you this morning.
You've seen Sarah?
Yes, didn't she let you into the hotel?
No.
How'd you get in then?
This other person let me in. I assume they were one of the hotel staff, although they were kind of strange looking.
Strange how?
Well, for one thing, I never saw their face. They were wearing this mask underneath their hoodie.
That's a little unsettling.
Honestly, knowing Sarah, it could mean anything. For all we know, this was supposed to be a masquerade-themed funeral.
Could be.
They did tell me not to leave my hotel room, though, and that we would be called when the service was starting.
Funny, Sarah told me the exact same thing.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. But the rooms are nice, and the last thing I want to do right now is disrespect Sarah's wishes.
I'm sure we'll find out soon enough.
I think you're right.
Well, I feel lonely a lot. Like, okay, not like lonely like I'm alone, because I'm not alone. I have a lot of friends, but even though you're here with me right now and we're talking and it's great, I still feel like this push away from you. And, you know, it's like, and I imagine this a lot. It's like, I close my eyes and I'm surrounded by darkness, and surrounding me in or I'm in a bubble, and surrounding me in my bubble is darkness. And other people are there too, my friends, and they all have their own little bubbles, and they can have fun with each other, and I can't. And well, okay, it's because okay, well, I actually don't know, but I think it's because, well, I'm not sure, but I have a great life. I have everything I could ever want. I mean, mostly money, but at some point that kind of becomes everything, right? I mean, money is power, right? And I'm not saying that because I don't think you have money. I mean, you definitely have power. It's just, okay, unless you're okay with not having any money, because you don't have any money. Like, you don't have any money. You do have money. You don't have money. You don't have money. Are you even listening to me?
Maria, please stop talking.
Are you well? You look terrible.
I'm fine.
Do you need anything? I can take you down to your room.
No.
Benadryl?
No.
Cigarette?
No.
Cough drop?
Absolutely not.
You don't appreciate my services.
I don't remember paying for any services.
They're free of charge. It's the Maria guarantee.
I want a refund.
Ugh.
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 Ugh. I can't believe this place. You don't rest on the grounds of an old cemetery? My daddy told me it's how they were able to get it for so cheap, because Lord knows they can afford anything else.
Actually?
Yes. Okay. I have information on the inside, but yes, I'm sure this hotel was like a last resort investment. They're scrambling for cash. This building is a rushed mess.
I'm so glad I'm poor.
You know, I guess it has its upsides. There's no duties to worry about. No luxurious parties to plan. No merciless spendings on pointless delicacies like bowls of lemons or premium bamboo toilet paper. No overbearing parental figures looming their dynasties over your head like you're the last cupcake at a birthday party full of obese children, and all you want to do is please them. And mommy says you'll never be able to head the company without losing a few pounds down there, because whenever you try and talk, all I want to do is stare at your bum. Okay, those are just a few examples I could think of.
You're overly pretentious.
Sorry, Clem.
No, it's fine. I love it. Keep doing it. It makes people like Caden angry.
I swear that boy's going to kill somebody someday. He is so full of rage.
If my father spent all his time profiting off third world countries and doing coke off Russian strippers, I'd be upset too.
But you don't decide to get into it this weekend.
If he behaves, I'll behave.
We're doomed then. Oh my goodness, Marty.
What?
The service is in 20 minutes.
Oh, I know that.
Why do you look like that?
I had some trouble getting my tie on.
So you put your suit on inside out?
Okay, what's your room number? I'm coming down there to fix it.
No, don't.
You cannot attend George's funeral looking like that.
Just tell me how to fix it over the screen.
It'll be easier if I can fix it in person. Please, just let me come down to your room.
I already said you can't.
Why can't she?
I had an accident.
Kind of accident, Marty.
You know how I'm allergic to dairy? Well, I worked early mornings at the pharmacy, and I hadn't eaten anything, so on my way here, I stopped to get a sandwich from Ebby J's. And I specifically asked the worker there to give me the special dairy-free cheese. And I guess she didn't hear me, because when I got to my room, I took a bite of my sandwich, well, my throat started closing, my cheeks puffed out, and I looked like a pufferfish. I had to use my last EpiPen.
You tried to kill yourself.
I didn't know it wasn't the dairy-free cheese.
Why would you risk it, though?
I wanted to have cheese.
That is the stupidest reason I have ever heard.
If you couldn't have cheese whenever you wanted, you'd understand. It's a delicacy for me, Clementine. A delicacy.
You have got to be more careful, Marty.
I wanted the cheese. I didn't know it wasn't the dairy-free cheese.
Huh, dairy-free cheese.
You've still got to be more careful.
If you couldn't have cheese whenever you wanted, you'd understand. And it's my life-threatening condition, not yours. You have no right to tell me what I can and cannot eat.
Clearly someone has to if you would risk your life for a piece of fermented uttermilk.
I don't appreciate the way I'm being treated, Clementine.
Good.
I'm being assertive.
Okay.
Assertive!
What a strange world we live in.
Maria, shut it. Marty, you're a bird brain. End of discussion.
I'm gonna do a handstand.
Okay.
Oh, Marty, you've got to fix yourself up a bit.
Can't hear you. Doing a handstand.
Can't hear you. He's doing a handstand.
If he looks bad at the funeral, it's on you, Clem.
Fine by me. When do you think the others are going to show up anyway?
I don't know, Clementine. When do you think the others will show up?
Tom!
Oh, Tom. Oh my God, guess what? Did I tell you? I ate this piece of cheese and I thought it was dairy-free, but it wasn't. And I'm allergic to dairy. So my cheeks puffed out like this. And I had to use my last EpiPen, so they're normal now. But I still remember how it looked. It was so funny. It was like...
Clementine.
Caden.
Maria.
Kaden? Clem?
Maria.
Clem.
Tom.
Clementine. Clem. Caden.
Tom.
Tom?
Maria. Clementine.
Marty! I just thought it'd be fun to say my name.
How's the pharmacy, Marty?
Oh, very good. So now that Mommy and Daddy are getting older, I have to work more hours. I'm refilling everyone's prescription now.
Exciting. Still poor, Clementine?
Extremely. How's destroying the planet?
It's never felt better.
I can see that. Got yourself a new suit?
It's cashmere. Custom design.
What do you all think of the hotel?
Ugh. It's tacky and trying to be flashy. There is no substance whatsoever.
What's up with her?
She's upset because they bulldozed a cemetery to make this place.
My granddaddy was buried here.
Well, he's dead, so it doesn't matter where his carcass lies.
It's a sign of respect and a passing of tradition into the afterlife. You would understand if you believed in God, Clem.
Are we really gonna start this weekend off arguing over religion?
Are you gonna bring up the fact that I'm poor every 10 seconds?
I might, because you are, and it's funny.
Caden Troth, everyone making fun of poor people. Add that to the list of family hate crimes.
Making fun of poor people isn't a hate crime.
I like poor people. I think they deserve our respect and admiration for all of their hard work to society.
I agree.
Thank you, Marty. That's what poor people deserve. Respect and admiration, not more money.
If we're going off that regard, you can't possibly be poor, Clementine.
Yeah, you're not even that poor, Clem. You're like fake poor.
How dare you? You do not get to gatekeep what makes me poor. And whatever, it's better than being fake rich.
You take that back.
I will not.
This is fun. Let's not fight anymore.
Marty, shut up. The adults are talking.
Sarah.
Tom? Tom, it's okay, Tom.
Whoa, make it stop. Make it stop.
Tom! Sarah's here, Tom. Please stop. Tom!
Edison Turtwig was also a master at shushing a crowd.
Who's Edison Turtwig?
Thank you, Clementine. Nice of you to dress up, Marty. Is everyone here yet?
We're waiting on Ruby.
Maria.
Hi. Can I just say that this is a lovely hotel. The interior is so unique. Who came up with this structure?
You ought to know. It's your daddy's design. Dev, locate the room of Ruby.
Dev?
That's the person who let me into the hotel.
Who is she?
All will be explained momentarily. Dev,
Ruby is in room 587.
patch her computer through.
Can we come out of our rooms?
No, you can't leave.
Why not?
Like I said, I'll explain everything in a moment. Dev, what's taking so long?
Done.
Ruby.
Hello, Ruby. I would like to thank all of you for being able to come out on such short notice. I know a funeral on a Saturday is probably the last place anyone wants to be, especially considering it's the start of most of your summer breaks. Tom, welcome back from Amsterdam.
Thank you, Sarah.
I know that this would mean a whole lot to Georgia that you're all here today, so thank you. Also, I apologize for the condition of some of the rooms. We have hit a few roadblocks in the polishing and furnishing of the hotel.
I'll say.
As many of you know, due to some recent circumstances.
Financial circumstances.
Due to some recent circumstances, the Kane family company decided it best to construct our newest residency on the grounds of the local cemetery. Because of this, we had to disrupt the resting places of multiple citizens' family members, but hey, capitalism stops for no one, not even the dead. Anyways, as you might have guessed, this has not boded well. Apparently, people do not like the idea of not being able to visit their deceased loved ones. That, on top of our family's eldest son recently being found dead alongside of a river, well, our company is not being held in the highest esteem right now. In other news, Georgia was meant to be the heir to the company, meaning once Daddy passes, I will be the chairwoman of the Kane Family Co. Yay! Congratulations to me, and...
Congratulations?
That doesn't really explain who that person is.
Can we leave our rooms now?
And, ironically enough, since this was meant to be George's first own project, it now technically belongs to me. And look, there is a point. Because of all this, Daddy thought it best if I was appointed a bodyguard. This is Dev, but for all intents and purposes, you may refer to her as...
The interpreter.
The interpreter?
She insisted on the name, not me.
Bodyguard?
Yeah, why do you need a bodyguard?
Exactly. Why would I need a bodyguard? Now we're getting somewhere. Dev, the interpreter, is a highly trained military veteran, and she's been
She's a military
all around the world
scumbag?
training military veteran, and she's been... You know what, Dev, can you mute everyone? Thank you. Jesus, I can hear myself, finally. Where was I? Right, Dev. We got the most highly skilled bodyguard we could find, given it was out of pocket. But still, Daddy wanted the best because he and many other members of the company find the circumstances of my brother's death suspicious. Due to our family's recent scandal and the fact that George's body was found near the river that passes directly by this establishment, You can look out your windows and see it. They believe the accidental death of my brother might not be so accidental. Daddy believes the events may be related. You following? Now, that brings me to why you all have been invited here. You all are here today because at some point you or your families have outwardly opposed the construction of this hotel. Now, I don't want to assume anything or accuse or attack, but I am fucking crazy, so you might say I have a slight vendetta against you all. I am trying to say I suspect one of you murdered my brother. Why is no one reacting? I can't hear any of you.
You muted them.
Right. Dev, unmute everyone.
I'm gonna rip that stupid mask off your face.
Caden.
You think you're so tough, huh? I'm not afraid of the military. Quit hiding behind your screen, come down here, and take me on. I'll give you a reason to wear a mask.
That's enough.
You think you're so tough? Come on, let's go, tough guy. Come down here and take me on. Let's go. Let's fight. Come on. Come
Dev!
on.
Thank you. Sorry, that's better. It's so hard to speak over someone else talking. Like I said, you all are here today to stand trial. I believe there is a guilty party among you. The question is, who? Yes, who so vile, so criminal, who hates my family so much that they would risk everything to kill my brother? Who is the worst of us? I have a proposition. There is a way we can end this entire thing right now. I am opening the floor for confessions, because Jesus hates a sinner, right, Maria? If anyone would like to confess to the murder of Georgia, we can call it a day. I'll go home early. Would anyone like to make a confession? Dev.
You cold-hearted bitch to think I would stoop so low.
I don't like this anymore.
Who is paying you to do this?
It's not always about money, Maria. Some things are much more complicated. Tom, anything you'd like to say?
I think this is ridiculous.
Caden, what about you?
I hate you.
Ruby? It's okay to speak, Ruby. No one wants to confess? Fine, I guess we'll move on to phase 2.
Phase 2?
What's phase 2?
Phase 2 is a much less happy phase. Dev was a weapons specialist in the army. Many of those weapons are hidden within this very hotel.
What?
What she is trying to say is that each of your rooms have been rigged with different explosives.
What?
Dev? Yes. There are bombs in each of your rooms that can be set off with the press of a button. Don't try and look for them. You won't find any. They're hidden away. And I wouldn't move too much if I were you either. The bombs have other triggers. We've set it so if anyone tries to exit their room through the door or otherwise escape, the bombs will be set off and explode not just that room, but all other rooms with bombs. You are each other's lifelines. And finally, I will get a confession tonight, because these explosives have one final trigger. If no one confesses in, let's say 12 hours, the bombs will go off and everyone will explode together. Those are the rules. At any point during the night, you may call me if you would like to confess. I'm going to unmute everyone now and leave. Have fun!
No one move!
I want to do a handstand.
No, don't, Marty!
If you do a handstand, we will all explode.
I want to do a handstand.
What do we do?
I have to go to the bathroom.
We don't move first
Pee
of
on
all.
the floor. Pee on the floor.
If you whip that thing out right now, blowing up is the last thing you're going to worry about.
What do we do?
Exactly. What do we do?
I know what Sarah wants us to do.
What's that?
I bet she wants us to accuse each other dry till we go insane or drop dead. But we won't do that. I bet she's watching us right now, waiting. Well, I for one refuse to let her win. You hear that, Sarah? We're better than you. If you think we're gonna tear each other to pieces, then you've got another thing coming. We will stand up in the face of this injustice. We band together.
I think Marty did it.
Why me?
I was just about to say that.
Why?
You run the pharmacy.
That's right.
Yeah, you could be messing with all sorts of drugs that we don't even know about.
No, I'm just a counter boy.
A counter boy?
I lied earlier. Mommy and Daddy don't even trust me to touch the drugs. All I do is hand people their medications and collect money. And even then, I still screw it up. What about Maria? She seems to have all sorts of problems with the Canes. If anyone's out to get them, it's her.
Me?
You fit the trope of a classic murder mystery character. You're rich, you're spoiled, and you're a woman.
I don't have the heart to kill anyone. And besides, if I needed someone dead, I would just hire someone else to kill it, and then they wouldn't even find the body.
Spoken like a true innocent person.
You did badmouth the hotel lot, and you were the most upset about them building over the cemetery.
Clem, you're siding with them?
I'm not saying anything, it's just... Oh, shit.
Okay, how about you, Tom? You've been all creepy with your mythic internships. Maybe you cast a spell on Georgia.
It's mythic entertainments, and you're right. I could be the killer. But how would I kill him? An icicle, the perfect murder weapon. You stab them and it disappears, disposing of all DNA evidence. But it's summer. How would I get an icicle? I'd find a way. I'd spend hours in my freezer basement crafting away day and night until I've created the best frozen weapon known to man. Then, the day of the deed, I wait outside George's home and I jump out of my hide and spot bushes and I stab him in the heart. It's a clean cut. His blood is on my shirt. I throw his body in the river, but what? I've been seeing a fatal calculation. I get up and I do what man was made to do. I run far, because no matter what, they cannot catch me. They will not catch me. You can't take me alive.
So, Tom didn't do it.
He's scary.
What about you, Caden? How are things between the two of you before... You've been pretty stressed since we got here.
I'm just stressed.
Why is that?
My friend's dead, and it's his funeral.
How are things between the two of you before he passed?
What do you mean?
Things going okay? Get into any big fights or anything?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think everyone else does. Didn't something happen between you, him, and Ruby, maybe?
Clementine, you don't know what you're talking about.
Everyone be quiet. Please. My head is pounding.
Ruby.
Caden's right. We can sit here and bicker all we want, but it's not going to get us any closer to freedom. What we need is a plan.
What kind of plan?
Tom?
Yes, Ruby?
You are going to take Maria and Marty into another call, try and think of all possible escape routes, maybe try and find a way to alert one of the protesters from outside. Caden, Clem, a word.
Do you really think they'll be able to come up with a plan?
No, I just needed them out of here.
Oh, good plan.
What is up with you two? Are you trying to die? Quit wasting everyone's time.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, be better. Do you have an explanation for me, Clem?
I feel sick.
Are we making excuses, Clem?
No, of course not, Ruby.
Good, because what do I hate more than anything?
Excuses.
Good.
Do you really think someone killed Georgia?
You know, we used to come here all the time. The graveyard. Sarah and I. Back in high school, we'd come here and just be. It's nice being. You two should try it sometime. God, that feels like a long time ago. A lot has changed in a little time. I should go.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna go talk to Sarah, see if I can't sort this out.
Hey, it's the three of us again. Just like back when we were kids.
You're right.
That really does seem like a long time ago. You two are fun.
Can we come with you?
To answer your question from earlier, Clem, I hope not. I really hope not.
She left again.
She doesn't need us. She doesn't need anyone.
Damn it!
What's wrong with you?
Nothing. We're stuck.
You're fine as long as you didn't do anything wrong.
What are you implying?
I don't think you're a murderer. I really don't. But if something happened, you gotta tell me.
There's a lot of things you don't know about Georgia.
Things that Ruby knows?
My life doesn't revolve around Ruby.
Do you love her?
Do you?
I asked you first. I'd say you're a hopeless romantic.
I'm not pathetic.
I didn't call you pathetic. I said romantic. Comparing romance to being feeble makes you more of a virgin than I thought you were.
I have goals, Clementine. I'm going to accomplish a lot with what I've been given. When my paw croaks, I'm going to inherit one of the most powerful companies in the country. And I'm going to change everything, alright? I'm going to help people. Real people. No more degrading the Earth's surface and raping it of natural resources. That's not helping anyone. And I'm going to donate money, millions and millions of dollars to climate change and global warming and feeding little poor children. And I'll build communities. I'm gonna build so many communities. I'll give it all, and people will love it. I hear them calling my name. Caden. Caden, we love you. Caden the great. Caden the respected. Caden the excellence. Excellence! I want to establish excellence, Clementine, and it's something that you'll never understand. You don't even know the definition of respect.
I do respect you, Caden.
I respect you too.
Red or black?
Black.
Spades or clubs?
Spades.
Red or black?
Red.
Red or black?
What are the odds of winning this game?
I have no idea.
Black.
You know, all these cards have special meanings.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, people who believe in divination can use them to determine what happens in a person's life.
Like tarot cards?
I guess so. They have their own ways of doing readings like tarot cards. I never learned how, but I find it fascinating. I've probably memorized what most of them mean. What's wrong? You look bored.
I'm nervous.
I have eyes everywhere. I can assure you everything is running exactly as you've planned.
That's not what I'm worried about.
Oh?
What if no one confesses?
You tell me. I'm just your bodyguard. Red or black?
Red.
Hearts or diamonds?
Hearts. How many people have you had to torture in the past?
Now that's a question.
I bet it's a lot.
I'm not allowed to discuss previous clients. It's one of the tenets of being a personal bodyguard. Once remembered, always forgotten.
Sounds lonely.
It can be. Red or black?
Red.
Also, I'd hardly call this torture.
What is it, then?
Most people use torture because they want something from someone else. Information, a resource, knowledge. It's a way of bending someone's willpower until you hold complete control over their entire being.
Isn't that what this is?
Sarah, Miss Kane, what do you want from these people?
I can't discuss my motives.
Torture without intent is cruelty.
It's cruelty either way. Reasoning gives no excuses to do something awful.
Then why are you doing this? Red or black?
Georgia would have loved this game.
In all the time I've been here, you've never once talked about your brother.
We used to play cards a lot when he got sick in the hospital.
Hospital?
Georgia had a lot of issues growing up. He had epilepsy. Well, more specifically, his was caused by elevated heart rate, fast breathing, etc. Basically, if he ever got too anxious, he would have a seizure.
How often was he anxious?
Daddy took it as a sign of weakness, so all the time.
Sounds scary.
I mean, yeah. For the first couple of years, it was really bad. Daddy refused to believe there was anything wrong with him. He only finally took him to the doctor when Georgia had one in a construction site and almost got run over by an excavator. He got medicated, which was good, but Daddy never looked at him the same after that. Black.
Spades or clubs?
Clubs.
What number?
Jack.
Close.
What was it?
I can't tell you that. It already happened, so it no longer matters.
Ruby. Would you like to play this guessing game? I haven't been able to get one yet, but I'm getting close.
I'm okay.
It's fun.
I'm sure it is.
I was just talking about Georgia. Do you have any stories you'd like to share?
I'm not in a place to really think about that right now.
I understand.
What were you talking about?
The hospital.
Do you remember the Bayside fundraiser?
Don't remind me. That entire fundraiser was bullshit.
Yeah, so it's this huge event. I mean, there must have been hundreds of the richest, most important people in construction industry all there to donate money to preserve the ocean. Classic Kane move. And your dad's almost at his limits.
Probably a caterer dropped last minute.
So he's running around scrambling, and he notices George's tie is messy. And he says, "This is a classy event. Go fix your tie. You look like a slob." And Georgia says, "I think my tie is perfect, Daddy, but Mr. Kane doesn't like that." And so he gets up real close to Georgia, and he whispers something in his ear, something that made Georgia storm off to the bathroom.
He was in there for a while, and we were starting to get worried.
And then he finally comes out.
And he had on the neatest looking tie.
But nothing else.
And then he screams, fully nude, in front of everyone.
How's
The lengths that boy would go to prove a point.
No. What are you doing here, Sarah?
What do you mean?
This isn't you. You're not a malicious person.
Please don't argue with me on this, Ruby.
This is some shit your dad would pull, not you.
Don't talk about my family.
I have perfect rights to talk about your father, Sarah. He's an asshole.
You don't know him.
Yeah, I do. I know everyone you're related to, maybe even more than you do.
Stop talking about my family.
She said stop.
Sarah.
Every time you've gone near a member of my family, something bad has happened.
You can't be serious.
Ruby, did you cheat on Georgia? I don't want to talk about this anymore. Either play the card game or leave.
Want to try? Red or black?
Red?
Hearts or diamonds?
Hearts.
What number?
King?
The King of Hearts. The
What does
Suicide
it mean?
King.
What does it mean?
Self-destruction.
If I were a bomb, where would I hide?
Look at all them out there.
Look at all.
Outside, the protesters.
There are so many of them. It looks like they're getting closer.
Can you imagine? Hundreds of strangers gathering in the same place just because they believe in one single issue.
Maybe you could try to wave to one of them, signal for help.
It won't work.
Why not?
The whole building is constructed with one-way glass. Privacy is a luxury of the rich.
So no one can see us.
But we can see them. Marty, what the hell?
Guys, check your fridges. I don't think these rooms were cleaned out before we got here.
That is disgusting.
But look at all this food.
Marty, I don't think it's the best idea to be rummaging around right now. We still don't know what can or can't set off the bombs yet.
But look at it, Tom. Fruit roll-ups, wheat thins. They even got Lunchables, Tom. Lunchables.
Luxury of the rich.
Ew. Whole milk.
This hotel keeps getting more terrifying.
I'm going back in.
Marty, no! Marty!
Can you see the river from your window?
A little bit.
Yeah, I think we must be near the upper levels of the hotel.
How do you know so much about this place?
It doesn't belong to the Canes.
What do you mean?
I mean, they stole it from my daddy. The designs, anyway.
No shit.
Yes, shit. He spent years working on these plans for what was going to be the most delicate and relentlessly captivating resortment hotel that this world has ever seen. Nothing compared to what this garbage is. The Canes are going to help us with this startup. He showed them his greatest achievement and confidence, but apparently he realized how much of an investment this would truly be and decided that, we should hold off on the project until we're more, equipped to deal with it. Sarah's daddy assured us he understood. 1 month later, we woke up to headlines saying that the Canes have broken ground on the brand new luxury hotel. Bichon Weekly called it the most ambitious project of the century. They had taken my daddy's life work right from under his nose. There was nothing we could do about it.
That's awful.
It was.
Wait, if your dad designed this place, do you know the layout?
I guess I do.
Well, think, is there any place in this building where you could easily hide a bomb?
Okay, well, I guess since this building is huge, and to keep every room perfectly temperate, you'd need a really big ventilation system, right? So maybe the vents, but I don't think, like, any of us should be able to.
Oh my god!
Marty, what's wrong?
I can't believe this. I can't believe this.
Marty, is everything okay?
This.
Marty!
I found OJ!
Marty! You scared us half to death!
Marty!
Who cares about a container of orange juice?
This isn't any container of orange juice. This is the good stuff. No pulp, all artificial ingredients.
It's sugar in a jar.
I know. Mommy never buys this kind. She always gets that organic crud. Yuck. I am so excited.
You're not seriously thinking about drinking that, are you?
Of course I am. Oh, we should make a toast!
A toast to what?
I don't know, anything. Think of something.
I don't like toasts.
Marty, how are you so cheerful?
I'm just happy to be alive.
We're all alive.
Yeah, but think of how great that is. We happen to be part of one of the most sophisticated species on the planet. I mean, you could have been born as an ant or a chicken, and not that there's anything wrong with that, it's just we're here as human beings. And we're even more lucky because we get to live in this beautiful place, and we're in this beautiful hotel right now, and even though it's rough sometimes, we're with these beautiful people.
Let's have a toast then.
Yes, get glasses! I'm really good at toasts. Mom and Dad say so. I mean, toasts are a huge part of the Marty household. That's why I had to get so darn good at them. If I ever make a bad one, I'd probably be crucified.
Ready?
So,
Ruby.
Am I interrupting something?
Oh, no, just some silly.
we were making a toast.
A toast
Well, we
to
were
what?
going to.
To nothing, just some.
We don't know yet, and that's what's fun about it.
A toast to nothing? I love that.
I guess it could be to nothing. I mean, I've never thought of that before.
Ruby, are you okay?
I'm fine. Marty,
Yes, Ruby?
tell me more about this toast idea.
You know, I think I get what you mean about the positives, Marty. I mean, Georgia's dead, right? And we'll never see him again, and he's never coming back, so why spend all this time mourning if we'll never actually get to tell him how we feel?
That's not exactly what I meant, Tom.
Marty,
Right. I'm really good at toasts, and my parents and holidays, and I'm crucifixion.
right, I'm sold. Let's have a toast.
To what?
To nothing.
It's genius.
Marty, would you do us the honor?
I would love to. My friends, my dear friends, we gather here today to mourn the death of our beloved Georgia. It was to be a day of grief, promise, and dazzling love. But instead, we are here with something far more valuable. Buckets of drama. And to that, I say nothing. To nothing!
To nothing.
What is happening?
Ruby, you're back.
You were making a toast.
To nothing!
It was quite fun.
What did Sarah say?
It's not good. She's set in her ways. The timer is still going.
So we're screwed.
Not necessarily.
What is it, Tom?
Maria thinks that. Well, I'll let her explain.
Okay, in the designs of this hotel, one of the finer luxuries is going to be perfectly temperate heating in every room. And this is a rather large feat to accomplish since the building is so big. Well, I mean, you'd need a whole lot of vent space to hide a bomb, or no, for airflow. So if I wanted a place to hide the bomb, I would choose the vents.
You want us to stick our hands down vents and what? Hope we pull out a bomb?
We're not saying it's the best idea, but at least it is a start.
No, we're not doing that. It could set off the motion sensors
My
and
room
explode.
has a vent.
No.
I could get my hand through it.
You're not doing that, Ruby. You could blow up.
Or we could all blow up.
It's too risky.
I say if she wants to stick her hand in the vent, we let her.
Not every decision is left up to you, Kaden. I'm doing it.
I swear, if we blow up right now, I'm going to be livid.
She made the choice. Let her make a choice.
Jesus, Marty, calm down. It's not that
Ruby?
serious.
Oh, shit!
Ruby, are you okay? Oh shit.
Now that is a bomb.
We can see it, Tom.
Oh my god.
What do we do? What do we do?
God, oh my
I don't
God.
know! I've never held a bomb before!
Tom?
God.
We didn't plan this far.
What do you mean you didn't plan it this far?
It was a play it by ear plan.
She's holding a bomb!
We can see that.
God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my
Shut
God.
it.
Oh my God. Oh, sorry.
Cut the red wire.
There isn't a red wire!
Cut a wire.
There's no wires on this thing!
What kind of bomb doesn't have wires?
This isn't a movie, you wobbling bird brain.
Stop calling me that.
Caw, caw.
Poor trash.
Food help.
Stop it.
Tweet, tweet.
I said stop it.
Still holding a bomb!
Just put it back! Put it back!
Okay.
That was a shit plan.
Anyone else got any surprises they'd like to throw our way?
I am contemptuous.
What?
There is no greater enemy than the principle of fear. No greater apathy than the ignorance defined by it. Society is blind. All collectively holding their breaths, praying that our fragile civilization won't dissolve into some glorifying dystopia where little girls are forced to be the chosen ones and jumped on by sick 40-year-old pedophiles. The glorious angels from above did not play their harps for us to be content with rock music. A little boy sits on a sidewalk somewhere, grieving the loss of his dog. It was hit by a car, but hey, at least he's on welfare. I say tweet, tweet, little bird. Little bird, tweet, tweet. Maybe if you've done something with your life, Marty, maybe if you weren't as lazy, more attractive, smarter, maybe if people liked you, you wouldn't still be packing drugs at your parents' godforsaken pharmacy that reeks of dystop and menopause. There are no nuptials between our planet and the universe. Really? We're just on some floating space rock that happened to be blessed with the power of life. We're not special. But life's beautiful, right, Marty? We should enjoy it while it lasts. To that, I say, tweet, tweet, little bird, tweet, tweet. I am contemptuous. I'm a bird. I'm the fucking universe. And I'm gonna kill myself.
What?
I'm gonna drink milk and die.
Marty, that's insane.
I'm so confused right now.
I'm so alive.
But you want to kill yourself?
Yeah, I'm gonna drink it.
He's actually trying to kill himself.
I'm going to do it.
Okay, Marty, let's just breathe for a minute. Nobody here wants you to die. Please don't hurt yourself. I'm sure we're all just
Do it.
fair.
Clementine, no!
Clem!
What?
I said do it.
Clem, that is awful.
You think I won't?
You're too much of a baby to kill yourself. Drink the milk.
Don't drink the milk.
Kaden, this is between me and my friend. Marty, die.
There was so much foreshadowing to this.
Don't die, Marty.
How did we not see this coming?
Tom, if you can't contribute to the solution, don't say anything.
I can smell the fresh byproduct of cow calling to you, Marty.
Marty, please don't do that.
Clementine, you are not helping anything right now.
It's just like with you, Ruby. If he wants to kill yourself, I say we let him. It's only fair.
Fairness has nothing to do with saving someone's life.
I'm still gonna do it.
Don't, Marty!
Listen to Ruby, Marty.
Drink the milk.
This is ridiculous.
Marty, I swear to God, if you kill yourself, I will never forgive you.
And I'll finally be proud of you if you do.
I want Clementine to be proud of me.
Marty, what happened to the world being beautiful? The hotel, chickens, ants, human beings. I mean, you can't experience any of the joys of being human if you aren't alive to experience them.
I like milk better now.
That makes no sense.
None of this makes sense. Marty, don't drink the milk.
I'm getting tired of waiting. Either drink it or don't. Yes.
Marty, no.
Marty! Marty!
Side.
Marty!
It's empty. It's empty.
Oh, we're being fucked with.
Marty, are you okay?
It's empty.
That was completely uncalled for.
No, it wasn't. It was right up the alley of something I do. So I did it.
That's exactly your...
Exactly my what? My problem? Is that what you're going to say? Am I too
That's
mean
not
for you?
what I'm...
Do you want me to change? Tell me everything that's awful about myself so I can change it for you.
That's not what... Listen to me!
I'm done listening to you. It's your turn to listen to anyone else for a change. You always have to have your way. You can't comprehend the idea of following somebody else. Always the leader, always on your pedestal. Why is that, Ruby? I'll tell you. You're insecure. I know I'm a bad person, but I'm content with myself. You don't ever really know what's going on. You're empty, underground, head in the clouds. This exterior you present, it's all a ruse, a masterful disguise. You're not content with yourself, not content here, your family, your relationship with Georgia. Georgia. What a shame Georgia had to settle for someone like you.
That's enough, Clementine.
Cheater.
I have to go.
Ruby, I'll go talk to her.
I think the toast cursed us. Oh, that doesn't sound good.
I'm fine.
Sounds like it's getting worse.
It could be toxin poisoning from something in the hotel.
What?
Like lead, or asbestos.
Shit, I gotta go.
Where are you going?
To Sarah.
If she's not gonna listen to Ruby, what makes you think she's gonna listen to you?
I don't know. I'll think of something. Just make sure Clementine doesn't die. Well said, Clementine.
Marty, dear, are you okay?
I'm not talking anymore.
Marty.
If I don't talk, no one can make fun of me.
Clementine. Clementine does look pathetic now, doesn't she?
Ruby? Hello, Ruby?
Hey.
Look, Clementine's such an asshole. Don't listen to her.
I know. She's right, though. I have no idea what's going on anymore.
But you seem like you do. That's incredible. You're incredible. You know, everyone looks up to you. You're the only one who's made any sense today. These people need you. I need you. Do you remember when we got stuck up on the roof? It was one of Maria's birthday parties. Back when we were younger, we were like 7. You pulled Clementine and I aside because you found this entrance up to the rooftop. Clementine was too scared to go, so just you and I went. And when we got up there, the door swung shut and we couldn't get it open. So we were just stuck. And then it started raining. Oh God, it was so cold. Do you remember? It was so pretty though. We could see everything from up there. It was all so tiny. Like, I felt like I could reach my hand out and just grab it all. It's kind of a similar view to what's outside now. We must have been up there for hours.
I don't really remember that.
Oh.
It sounds like it was a long time ago.
It was. Ruby, can we just talk? Okay.
I don't want to do this anymore.
What?
There's an island in the Pacific Ocean. 5,000 miles away from any continent. No one lives there. The place is empty. Can you imagine that? Somewhere on Earth that hasn't been touched by anyone. The idea is so remote.
It sounds lonely.
I envision myself there sometimes, alone. I wonder what it would feel like. There'd be sand, of course, and the smell of salt water. Maybe I'd see a crab. You know, I've never seen a crab before. The wind would blow my hair in all directions, and it would take hours to untangle, but I wouldn't care. I wouldn't have to care. And the sun would be out, and it's so bright. It's so bright you shouldn't look at it, but I do anyway. I can't not. It's so bright I want to give it a hug and beg it never to leave. Please don't leave. Don't leave me. Please never leave. Don't leave. The sun is... The skyscrapers are so tall you can't see the sun anymore. Sometimes I don't want the island to be just a vision. I want to run away and make it real.
Let's go then, together.
I'm afraid it doesn't count as running away if you do it with someone else.
Oh. How do you know about that place?
My mom and dad told me about it. They dreamed of taking a vacation there, but we never found the time. I hope Georgia and them found each other okay.
How would you get there? The island?
I'd fly
Like a bird?
like a beautiful eagle.
It'd be easier to take my boat.
Which one?
I'm beginning to believe you only think of me as a rich, spoiled brat.
It's not just that. You're pretentious, too.
Ouch. Thanks.
I'm kidding. Caden. Thank you
For what?
for being the only family I have left.
Ruby.
It'd be cruel if I left without saying goodbye.
Wait, you're actually leaving?
There's nothing keeping me here anymore.
That's not true. We all need you.
No, they don't, Caden. They need you. Can't you see I have no control anymore? You can help everyone.
I can't without you.
God, you were so confident before. Now you can't do anything without me holding your hand. What happened?
What happened is that you're abandoning us.
They don't need me.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
I need you.
Well, I don't. I have to move on with my life, Caden.
I'm sorry.
What for?
I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, it's okay. What's wrong?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Stop apologizing.
I'm sorry.
The protesters are setting off fireworks. They're beautiful.
I know.
Is it the painting behind me?
No.
Is it the wall?
No.
Oh, is it that little speck of dust that keeps floating around me that I can't seem to get away from me no matter what I do?
No.
Okay, I give up. What is it?
Your hair.
Damn. Okay, my turn. I spy with my little eye something scary looking.
My mask.
God, I suck at this game. Tom, we were just playing I Spy. Would you like to join us? I have to warn you, Dev is a master, but maybe you can beat her.
Wait, no, Clementine is about to die.
That's not good. Wait, why?
We think it's because of some sort of toxic material that escaped because of faulty construction.
That would explain the vomiting. That does suck. How am I gonna kill her if she's already dead? Okay. I spy with my little eye something white.
Is it my shirt?
We need to get her to a hospital.
Why?
Because
And
she's
yes, that's
dying.
correct, Dev. So, I'm already trying to kill her.
This isn't funny anymore, Sarah.
You think this is fun for me? You think I find this funny, Tom? I'm absolutely miserable. It's your turn, Dev.
Do you think Georgia would want this?
Doesn't matter what Georgia wants. He's dead.
What is it about?
Me. Everything is about me now.
Then you're not really his sister.
So be it.
I get you, Sarah. We get each other. I know you. I know that it can be overwhelming, but we still have time to fix this.
I don't want to kill you.
What was that?
I spy a big problem.
What is it?
It seems that the protesters from before have breached the building.
What?
They're in the interior.
Fuck!
They're setting off fireworks inside.
Sarah?
Are you guys okay? Tom, we heard a really big noise.
This is bad.
What's happening?
All right, new plan. We have a couple of options. Either someone can confess right now and we only have a slight chance of being trampled, or we can sit around and wait for the protesters to set the building on fire and we can all burn to death.
I don't like either of those options.
Right. We should fast track the bombs. Dev, set the timer for 5 minutes.
Sarah, no.
Right. Dev, 60 seconds.
I know I said no more talking, but I think I should preface, we're all fucked.
I don't think this is the best use of your time right now.
Sarah, don't do this.
You're literally all about to explode.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Marty. Oh my god, we have to. Marty,
No, I don't want to, Maria.
We have to!
Maria?
Maria?
Marty, we have to. We have to. Marty.
No, I can't.
10 seconds.
What is it?
Damn it!
5.
Oh my god.
Maria!
4.
Marty,
No,
we have to.
don't.
Marty!
2.
No.
Marty!
1.
We did it!
I knew it! Yes! I'm so good at guessing!
Maria?
We killed Georgia. Marty and I. Clementine too.
All 3 of you.
If I may state my hypothesis.
Go ahead.
Sarah, when did construction on this hotel begin?
About 3 years ago. Why?
Then that is where our story begins. 3 years ago, Clementine, Maria, and Marty set in stone a plot to seek revenge on all the wrongs the Canes had made against their families. I'm going to assume that none of you like the idea of a brand new hotel upstaging your family businesses. You needed to make sure it never got constructed. So you go after the source, Georgia Kane.
Okay, but how do they do it?
I'm getting there. The plan. See, you all knew that Georgia was on a very particular dosage of medication for his seizures because he filled it up at Marty's family pharmacy every month. Marty, am I right to assume that you've been slowly changing George's medication?
Maybe.
Maybe, but it wasn't that simple. You see, Georgia was on a very high dosage of medication to control his seizures. You couldn't just switch the medication out for a placebo. He could have relapsed, and the first thing they would have looked at was his medication. No, you needed to be careful, delicate.
So what you're saying is...
So what I'm saying is that for the past 3 years, they've been slowly decreasing George's medication until it was almost nothing, in hopes that one day he'd freak and have a fatal seizure, and the whole thing would look like one big tragic accident.
Damn.
It makes no sense.
It's a hell of a long time for a murder plot.
That's not the full story.
Oh?
Maria.
That's not everything that happened. Okay, you're right. 3 years ago, we devised a plan to alter George's medication, but we didn't want to kill him. We just needed construction of the hotel to stop. We thought that maybe if Georgia started having seizures again, his daddy would blame it on the stress from the construction, and maybe he'd shut down the project.
That's a terrible...
I know it was a bad idea, but we had no other choice. We couldn't let that hotel finish. We're not evil people. We saw what was happening with Georgia, and we saw that he wasn't well, and so we made a decision. We changed our minds, and so a few days ago we had Marty sneak back into Georgia's house and switch out the medication for the correct dose. But I guess we were too late because he must have had a seizure sometime earlier that day.
Damn.
Sarah, you've got to believe me. I didn't mean to. I swear to God, we didn't mean to. We didn't mean to.
No, it doesn't. It makes no sense.
Yes, it still doesn't. Why did you need constructions to stop so badly?
It's my fault.
Clementine?
The whole plan was my idea.
Clementine.
Why?
I was jealous of Georgia, and I was tired of being the only one who had less. So I wanted to take something away from him, his legacy.
Clem, that's not true.
Damn it, Marie, I'm trying to help you guys.
You don't need to vouch for us.
It's my fault, Sarah. If you need someone to blame, it's me. I brought Marty and Maria into this, so if you need revenge or whatever, take it out on me, not them.
No, this is all wrong.
What's wrong?
There were no signs of a seizure on the autopsy report.
What?
That means that...
Georgia didn't die of a seizure.
Which means that...
We didn't kill him! We're not murderers! I'm not a murderer!
Marty, Maria?
Wait, then how did Georgia die? Because something must have happened to him that day.
Okay, Marty, when you went to Georgia's, was he home?
No, he wasn't. I was alone.
Okay, then maybe something happened to him before then.
Who did he see that?
He's lying.
What?
His eyebrows flexed. That's some Turtwig, baby.
I'm not lying.
Liar.
Marty?
Caught red-handed.
Marty, what happened?
Nothing.
Lie.
Did you see something?
No!
What did you see?
I was told not to tell anyone. I can't.
What is it?
Marty?
He threatened me. He threatened me not to say anything.
He?
Marty, who threatened you? What did you see?
Hey guys, what's going on? We heard some noise. Is everyone alright? Marty, what's wrong?
No.
Are you okay, Clementine? Maria?
No.
Caden?
Yes, Tom?
When was the last time you saw Georgia?
Probably a couple of days ago. Why?
What did you do with him?
Hung out, I guess. You're acting weird, Tom. What's up?
Did you see Marty at all?
Hey, Ruby, do you want to go back to the other call?
What are you talking about, Tom?
I don't think they need us here. Let's go back.
Tom, what's happening?
Ruby, please can I talk to you in another call? Ruby.
I want to hear what Tom has to say.
It's just... You were the last person to see Georgia.
Caden, what is he talking about?
You know how baby ducks follow? They just blindly follow their mama. They're born and then that's all they know. You can see them in ponds doing nothing but following. Do you think they've ever been outside the pond? Ever experienced anything other than the shallow? I mean, what happens if the mama duck dies? Are all the baby ducks fucked?
Caden, what are you
I'm a
talking
baby
about?
duck. And I follow. And I swim. Because that's what baby ducks are supposed to do. That's what's expected of them. What do you think would happen if a baby duck started climbing a tree? People would freak. The duck would get shot in the head. It would be dead before it even...
Kaden!
I'm not the bad guy here. You've got to believe that.
I'm sick of being told what to believe. I just want to know what happened.
You want to know?
Yes.
You really want to know?
Kaden!
I killed my best friend!
How?
God damn it! Does it really matter how?
It does!
There were hand marks on his neck.
Huh?
He was strangled.
I'm a baby duck.
What the fuck, Kaden? You promised me!
I'm a baby duck.
We should wrap this up before the protesters get to the upper floors.
Right. Everyone, you're free to go.
What? Just like that?
Yep. I don't have a use for you anymore.
What about the bombs?
They've been deactivated. There's an elevator in the middle of every floor. You can take that and probably be able to avoid the protesters.
Okay.
You're welcome to stay if you'd like.
What do you want to do with him?
You know, I actually hadn't thought that far ahead.
We don't have a lot of time, Sarah.
I have an idea. I'm gonna let Ruby decide.
Me decide?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you decide what happens to Kaden. Should he live or explode?
Ruby.
Interpreter? Do you still have your deck of cards? Would you take out both trump cards, please?
Trumps hold the strongest power in divinity. The first trump, evolution, beauty, harmony, life. Second trump, stagnation, ugliness, chaos, death. Here they are.
The trumps,
Ruby.
the cards, will decide your fate. If you pick the first trump, you live. If you pick the second trump, you blow up.
Ruby.
Hurry up. We haven't got all day.
I picked the one on the right.
Lucky guess.
I'm gonna go now.
Okay, Tom.
Tom?
You made it, Kaden.
Do you remember when we got stuck up on the roof? It was so cold.
Will I be seeing you later?
No.
Maybe we can go back there. Maybe we can see your island from up there?
You can't.
I'll let you take my boat.
Okay. Okay.
Ruby?
I'm tired, Dev. I'm gonna go home. Also, I can't be around him anymore. Could you escort him out? Great.
Ruby.
Ruby's gone.
Oh, what a day.
Why did you do that? You switched the cards when they dropped. Why did you save me?
You know, I was in the military for 12 years. Never killed a single person.
What's that got to do with anything?
It doesn't. Just wanted to ease your worries.
I'm not worried.
You're a terrible liar, you know that?
You knew, didn't you? Who are you?
Just some ex-military scumbag.
Take off your mask.
And what do you expect to see?
Something better than this?
All right, hello everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show. I am going to stall for a minute while I wait for folks to hop on for the Q&A. Hope you're all able to stay and watch that. I've got one. Hey, you've been added. Welcome. Say hello to everybody on YouTube. Hi everyone on YouTube.
Hi everybody that's watching.
Feel free to put some comments in the chat. We're going to have 2 rounds of 2 groups. 1 round for each group is what I mean. And they're just going to answer some questions. Here's Lynn. Hi everyone on YouTube.
Hi everybody that's watching.
Feel free to put some comments in the chat. We're going to have we're hearing an echo of 2 groups. 1 round for each group is what I'm going to mute you for a moment while we would deal with this echo. Oh, hi Malachi.
Oh, am I in group 1 now?
Well, you came for group 1.
Oh, I can go. Okay, I'll do that.
No, all good. You are in group 1. Welcome to group 1.
Hey.
Say hi to everybody.
Are people watching me?
Yeah.
Oh, there's the
chat on the side.
I see. Can you not? Hey guys.
Feel free to throw in some questions if you're watching. If you want to. You don't have to.
Oh, this is like reversed. So,
Yeah, it's very stressful to see. We're mirrored in the video that we
I
can
hate
see.
that so much.
Anyway.
I know. It's not fun. We have a question. Which scene was hardest to film while we're waiting on our other two for this group?
oh, Emmett said, "How was your day, Malachi?" Can I do that before which scene so we can wait for other people?
Sure, that's a good one. That's a good one to start with.
Emmett, Warner,
It's
my day.
Right.
Am I muted? No, I'm not muted. My day was, it was all right. It was stressful. I drove. Not in Portland. I'm at a beach place for my birthday, which is tomorrow. Yeah. So it was stressful because I almost didn't make it here in time to do this. So I'm here though for you guys, for all my fans. Who are we waiting on?
Anyone else want to answer? How was your day? I accidentally left the things from the actual show in the stream so people couldn't join, but they're gonna join now. That's on me. You guys all made it in before I made it so that no one else could join.
Thanks everybody.
Does anyone
Thanks,
else want to
Lily.
talk about their day while we're waiting?
I took my dog on a walk.
Wow, that's so exciting, Sully. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thanks guys.
Yeah, happy birthday. You're gonna be an adult. That's so scary.
Yeah, tattoos. Don't tell my grandma.
Well, while we are waiting, I think we should get to some questions.
Yeah.
Let's do this one. Which scene was hardest for you guys each to film?
Who starts?
Lou, do you want to call on this?
Sure, yeah. Let's go, Celicia. You're first on my screen.
I think the hardest film to scene was. Yep, that's English. The hardest scene to film would probably be my monologue scene when then I have to vomit because we used fake blood, and fake blood tastes disgusting. It's in a powder form in a pill, so I had to dump it out onto a spoon and then make sure no one could see the fact that I was spoon feeding myself powdered fake blood. And it was really gross, and I didn't want to spill it everywhere because it stains. Yeah, that was probably hard just because it was disgusting.
I get that. Quinn, how about you?
Okay, the hardest scene to film might have been that bit about like the Canes stealing my family's stuff, because I don't know, I just like it always felt really clunky, and then we were supposed to be doing it and I was still like, oh, it's so clunky, but it actually looked kind of okay, so maybe it wasn't that clunky.
That's good. Malachi, how about you?
I feel like I have to say I kind of do too, actually. Just quick. I'm going to. I definitely the scene where I have to run on stage with all the food. I don't know if anyone noticed this, but I fell pretty hard when I came on.
I did notice that.
Yeah. But other than that pain, definitely the like suicide monologue. That's the whole scene was hard, especially having to pretend to want to kill yourself and having your best friend telling you to do it. It was probably just a emotionally difficult thing, but it was still really interesting to like dive into that and act and whatever. But yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't say that scene was hard to film, but I thought I thought it was funny. It was funny.
All right, Alice, you didn't film any scenes, so
I did not.
I'm gonna move on. Moving on to this. How did you maintain so connected while you were in totally different spaces? We'll go in the opposite order. Alice, do you have an answer for this? I know you weren't acting, but we still had that like sense of connectedness as a production team, I think.
We did, and we worked on it a lot while we were working with the cast. It was it was the actor's job, and they did really well at it. I don't think that I had much of a hand in that, but it was really interesting to see them go from just being on a Zoom call to being really connected with each other and being able to work off of each other, like the longer that we were in the rehearsal process. And it was really cool to see that like transition.
Yeah. Malachi, how about you?
Group chats. Gotta be honest. Just lots of texting, and calling, and for some reason there was a lot of big emotional breakthroughs with personal lives during the cast. So, not to call anybody out, not calling anybody out here. But yeah, we had 2 group chats because people wouldn't stop littering the production group chat, and I had to ask Lou to like make a new one so I could actually yeah. Because when I'm at work and I can't nonstop check the group chat, and then I open my phone to literally 100 messages of just like Quinn and Felicia yelling at each other. It was good. No, it was good.
I have no idea what you're talking about. We never did that.
No, never. It never happened.
I mean, clearly we got that sense of connectedness. Do you two have anything else to add, or should I move on to the next question?
Discord. We
Discord?
Sit on Discord and talk about absolutely nothing. The most random of things, and then random people would come, like people in like the cast would come join and be like, "What did I just walk into?"
I know. Discord, and also the fact that, okay, so like I have this little theory that Maria was in love with Clem, and then fun fact about me is I actually had a crush on Sully, and I asked them out freshman year. Yeah, so that definitely added a really fun dynamic. Hi,
Sylvia.
Hi. I made it in. I was just out here trying links for like 5 minutes.
Wow.
Well, welcome.
A bunch of viruses on your computer now. You should
Technology queen.
I hope not.
Technology queen.
Look at you.
Yeah, lots of late night Discord calls that really had nothing to do with the show.
No.
Just a lot of like chatting.
Or sometimes you come up with theories.
That's true. That's true. I do. There. I see a question. I'm going to save that for the next group when we have both of the Finleys. Kai, I do see the question.
We have a lot of like storylines. May wrote us some fan fiction.
May did write fan fiction. This is true.
And Finley and I came up with the whole story of the cheating and how that happened.
Whoa! I was there for that conversation. What do you mean, Finley and I?
Okay.
Actually, no, I didn't.
Finley and Malachi and I.
Moving into another question.
Collectively.
Did you guys have any characterization you added into your acting based on knowing your character's fate to try to clue to the audience? Sorry if that makes no sense. It makes sense. Like, how did you act knowing that you were also trying to trick the other characters in the show? Celicia?
Obviously my character is very sick throughout the show. She is also, for lack of a better term, an asshole throughout the entire show. I am very much connected to my character in that way. I'm not a very positive, nice person.
This is true.
It's true. So I had to find a way to be both sick and like keep energy, which Lou had to keep reminding me, like, yeah, you're dying, but you also have to, not be dead. And that's really hard. But I found a nice middle ground. Mostly because near the end of the near the middle of the show, I use the fact that I'm sitting on my bathroom floor, which is very uncomfortable, to play into the fact that I'm irritated as well as sick. Because when you're sitting in a cramped little bathroom for like an hour, it gets difficult. But that's probably it.
Mel?
Mike, I'm assuming everyone watched the show. If didn't, spoilers, but my character was involved with both of the killings, kind of. So
both of the murder plots.
Both of the murder plots, yeah. So it was really difficult. Especially we didn't know who the killer was until our first run through, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, until our first run through. So in auditions.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell anyone.
Yeah, no one knew.
Mila and I kept our cards close.
But
well, yes, you did too. Well, you didn't know until a little later, even.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't tell me.
Keep going, Malachi.
Okay, I'm gonna continue. Adding to my acting, I think I really had to like, I don't know if it was noticeable because it was maybe more in my head, but trying to like change a little bit of my persona whenever I would see Caden specifically, because we had a whole separate storyline that me and Finley and Sylvia and Lewin made up. So it was like it was weird to know that you're the murderer, but also not be the murderer, and like no, I watched the murder, but then also like even till the very very end when Sarah's like, oh, but like that's not how he died. I'm like, what do you mean that's not how he died? Like I'm lying till the very end, and it's just like it was weird. It was weird. I'm not a big liar in real life. Like I'm a really bad liar, which is interesting because everyone thinks I should be because I do acting, but I'm a terrible liar. So it was really hard for me to play a character that was a liar. But
Yeah, well, unlike these two, Ruby had no idea what was going on through the entire show, so that was pretty easy for me.
Yeah, Ruby legitimately didn't have anything to hide.
No,
well,
of all the people, Ruby was just lost the entire time.
Poor Ruby. I feel so bad for Ruby. Maria's so stupid, and so like, okay, she's kind of a bimbo, but we love her anyway. But she like thought she knew what was going on, and so I like had to jump on the I don't know who killed Georgia train, and I would always do it just like a little bit too late. And so like I feel like more people. I remember reading the script and like making a list, and I was like, okay, so I think Sarah did it, or I think Maria did it, like. Or I think Clem did it. Like I think those were the three. Because Maria she like hops on the train too late. She knows or she thinks she knows how he died. And so she always likes to add in like how she thinks he died, but like actually how she thinks he died. Anyway. But I really just had to like freak out at the end. Because I'm not a murderer.
Quinn, can I be honest with you real quick?
Oh,
I haven't told anybody this, and I think this Q&A is probably the perfect time to disclose this information. Maria was my least favorite character, like by so much. Like I despised Maria. Like, oh, it was so hard to like do the scenes every time and not just be like, oh, shut, like please stop.
It's okay. I for whatever reason.
I love you, Quinn. I love you, but Maria was just.
Okay, that's
okay.
Sylvia, I have a confession similar. Ruby annoyed me so much.
Okay, let's refocus.
Sorry, I didn't like
on
Ruby.
another question.
Wait,
we can all
Wait,
talk.
I want to answer this. You want
to answer this. I'm going to let Felicia answer it first.
Excuse you.
Sully, go ahead.
Clementine is vomiting blood from asbestos in the hotel. You get very sick. I got very sick because sorry, my dog's trying to get me to play. Not now. Because the asbestos in the hotel was poorly built because, financial circumstances. So I just had to, at one point had to make it seem like I was dying. There need to be like a reason for Sarah to like come back in and for them to speed up the process of like the bombs.
Why do you say bombs?
Because I don't think there's no way that those bombs are real.
There's been an internal debate in the cast.
Did you guys see how I was handling it? I was like holding the bomb like this. And it didn't blow up.
Moving on.
The interpreter does
another question.
Lou isn't telling us if the bombs are real or not.
I'm not going to tell you guys until Eli and I we've talked about it. We know the answer, but it's a secret forever.
Our theory is that the bombs were not real and the interpreter just said that they were real because the interpreter is a wise old woman who knows the ways of the world far better than these stupid teenagers.
All interesting questions. All right, moving on to another question. What was it like going from performing on a stage to performing on Zoom, and what helped you through that process?
Oh my god. Can I go?
Yeah, you can start.
You clearly have the biggest reaction to this one.
Dude, I feel like a lot of the times I get casted in like big character roles. Like like I was in Midsummer, and I was like bottom, and I had to literally be an ass. So like it was very like much body work and like things like this. Zoom takes that all away from you and then makes it harder. And then you think, okay, no, I get used to that. I can like get close to the screen and get far away from the screen. I kind of like move around. But then someone's internet breaks. And then you're just sitting there like, dairy free cheese? Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. And then it's just super awkward and terrible and the worst thing in the world. And now I'm directing a show for the One Acts. And now I have to go into Lou's shoes, and I want to cry. And now I understand all of Lou's pain. That
Yeah,
we
it
put you
was
through.
definitely frustrating to be like, oh, that Wi-Fi's out. We're just gonna give it a second. Everyone just wait 30 seconds. Should come back. Yeah, Sylvia.
Horrendous.
Well, as I've already demonstrated once on this call, I'm freaking terrible with technology. So that I was just like starting at an offset, and then also, in acting, you don't want to just say your line because the script says that you're gonna have a line. You want to say your line because the situation and the person who is saying your cue line really prompts you to have a reaction. But the problem is that when you do that, then the lag makes it so that you're answering way after a natural amount of time. So you can't wait for the character to actually be prompted. You have to try and suss it out, but then if you overshoot, then you're messing up the other person. It's a whole mess.
I mean, and you can kind of see that in a couple of the scenes where there's definitely a bit longer of a gap between the responses and the questions and all that. Don't worry. We did have a couple of people whose Wi-Fi was like interesting, and whenever they were in a scene together, it was fun to be like, what happens next? So I'm gonna move on to another question. I'm waiting for.
I have an answer for this one.
Oh, you have an answer. Do it.
I mean,
answer.
I am the
Yes,
stage
please do.
manager.
You are.
What? You've been the stage manager this whole time?
No, dude. Who knew?
I thought you were playing Georgia.
Well, that's
That's
a
a
good
good
theory.
theory.
Alice and I would be such a good couple. I mean, come on.
True. Oh, Sylvia.
So answering the question.
Sorry.
Obviously, like, my job is very hands-on on stage. I run all the cues for like the lighting and sound and like all the props and the costumes on stage, and that's all very, very physical and in person. And stage managing online was a very, very different and much smaller experience than that, because it also made it less stressful, which was cool. But there was like none of that hands-on working with actors, working with crew. Luckily, I did get to help with all the props and the lighting and stuff like that. But it was so different, and it was really cool to work with a new medium. But it was interesting to adjust to.
All right, we are going to take this last question, and then we're going to move to group 2. Who wants to go first?
You hate us, Lou?
Sleazy wants to go first.
No, I'm so sorry. Sleazy, go.
There's 2 answers for this. Answer 1: anyone but Maria. Anyone.
I'm saying.
That's what you put in your initial audition form.
When we auditioned, there was, who do you want to play? I was like, honestly, I'm okay with anybody. And then the next question was, who do you not want to play? I was like, Maria. I hate's a strong. No, I hate.
What is with the Maria hate? Maria's.
I didn't say I hate Maria.
Maria
I said I
sucks.
hate stuck up, rich, snobby people, and that is just the embodiment of Maria. And I can't do it. If I had to pick, I would either want to pick Hayden because he's also an asshole, and it is very easy for me to play those characters because I am, or Tom. I just think Tom is a great character, and I don't think I would do Tom justice because Cole plays Tom so well. He is Tom. He is the embodiment of Tom. But it would be something different because I always am typecasted as someone who is the negative person, the
jackass.
Yeah. Just like the not nice, the like antagonist of the protagonist. Like I'm not evil, but I'm just not nice.
Yeah, I get that.
Because maybe, maybe it's just because it's my own character as a person, and I should fix that. But it would be cool to play something just polar opposite of that.
Yeah. Quinn, do you have an answer? Let's
I do.
speed it up so we can get on to group 2. I
like
love you
Maria.
guys. But...
I'm biased. I like Maria. She makes me chuckle. So I would probably play Maria again, or I would play Marty because I love Marty so much. She's my absolute favorite character. I believe in Marty supremacy.
Well, that's a...
Sylvia, what about you?
Well, when I first auditioned for the show, I was really hoping to get cast as Maria. Sorry, Celicia, but I think Maria is such an interesting character. Not that I would necessarily want to be friends with her if she was real, but
Fair.
in an acting sense, I would love to play her. However, I did have a really, really good time playing Ruby, regardless of if the entire cast hates her. And I think I would also want to play Tom, because he's just fantastic.
All right. Alice, if you were going to play a character? No, I'm going in the lines.
I would play Ruby. I think that she has some really cool, powerful moments, and I don't act really, but if I do, when I do, I really love those powerful characters and those powerful moments, and just like, I love being in charge, hence my job. But Ruby has that energy, and I think that would be really fun to play.
Malachi.
I loved playing Marty. I think he was a really fun role to play, especially because of his huge range of emotions. But if I had to choose someone else, I think Caden. I was gonna audition for Caden, and then I just didn't for some reason. I don't know. I think it'd be fun to play Caden because 1, I think it'd be fun to play the murderer and see what I could do with that. And then 2, he's the very opposite of me. I feel like in real life, not to make myself look better than I actually am, but he's very not the best guy, and he's really rich and whatever, and I feel like it'd be really fun to try something new. But also obviously Sarah, because that's sick. That's so sick.
Forgot about Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah.
But Marty, I definitely choose Marty out of all of them.
If I was going to act in the show, it would be, I think, Clem or Maria, maybe Sarah. I just think that they're all just such fun. I kept emphasizing this throughout the rehearsal process, that these characters are just really fun. You should be having fun with this. And then everyone really did. Yep.
Marty is not a bad person.
Marty is the only good person.
Marty's the only.
Ruby's the good person.
He was involved in a murder plot.
Okay, but
he got.
There's also that.
He got cheated.
All right, I'm kicking you all out of the stream. Group 2, come here. Let me text that production.
Bye, everybody.
Chat.
Thank you for coming and seeing our show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
See it again tomorrow because it's so good.
Yeah, come see it again tomorrow. Everyone's going to be here again tomorrow. Also. Malachi, get out.
I don't know how to leave. I don't know how to leave.
I'm going to make you leave. I can't.
Oh, there's a button. Never mind. Bye.
Okay, there you go. All right, we have Caden and Tom / Finley and Cole already here. Killing it. Here's Sarah, May.
We've got the chemistry going on.
Repping the Grant Choir t-shirt. We are waiting for Eli and...
Hold up. Finley is in costume.
Well, I wanted to make sure... I wanted to make sure people could tell.
Just in case they got us mixed up.
No, I wanted people to be able to tell that it was me because my name was spelled wrong in the subtitles. So I wasn't sure if people would know who I was, So I decided to put on my outfit real quick. Show up.
I understand that. All right. Well, we have the Finleys. Let's get Kai's question of what did the interpreter mean at the end when she said you were a terrible liar? Was Caden lying about killing him, or was that just referencing to him lying before?
That's a good question. Well, I will say this line was changed towards the end of the script. The script was constantly changing, which is a cool part of the process, but it made memorizing lines hard. Anyway, point is, this part got added in later in the process. So I kind of had to figure out, what does this mean? And the line where Caden's like, you knew the whole time. That was added in like a week before we filmed the show. So I think the interpreter did know the whole time. As soon as like Caden showed up and started talking, I think the interpreter was able to figure it out. And then everything that she says afterwards is meant to draw him out and force him to confess. And yeah, so when she's like, you're a terrible liar, I think she's talking, one, about him lying about not being worried, and also about how he was lying before and lying about killing Georgia.
Yeah. Eli, do you have insight on that? You did write the line.
Hi. Can you hear me? I joined
Yeah.
the test link from yesterday again.
Ah.
Sorry, so what's the question?
What did the interpreter mean at the end when she said you are a terrible liar? Was Caden lying about killing him, or was that just referring to him lying before? And then we're going to do this question.
That was reference to two things. That's in reference to Caden saying that he's not worried, like that's the direct reference, but then it's also a reference to throughout the entire show. The interpreter was kind of like a seeing eyes character for me, and they're kind of watching the entire process, and I think that is also reference to them knowing early on that Caden is probably the person who killed Georgia.
Gotcha. All right, moving on to this question. Did any of you have a favorite line? We answered this. I think everyone had a chance to answer this on the Instagram when we did takeovers this week, but let's hear them now. It's hard. There are so many great lines in this show. Meh.
Can I be honest? No, wait, that was a bad way to start that statement. It was one of Sarah's lines during her big scene 4 thing, that she does. The interpreter mutes Caden, and Sarah goes, "That is so nifty." And it's like my favorite line in that whole monologue scene, and I dropped it in the show.
That happens, maybe once or twice. You definitely didn't get like all the lines into the show.
It's such a good line. It makes me chuckle. And I dropped it. So that happened.
It's okay. We'll edit it in for tomorrow. Anyone else got a favorite line?
Oh yeah.
My entire I could be the murderer, but how
I love that monologue so much. Oh my god, every time.
I can't wait for Eli to publish this so that you can bring it to competition.
I also love the laugh, I have to say.
It was so good.
I'm glad you've come to love it.
Yeah, I hated it at first, but now I like how I did it, so it's okay.
Good. That's good. Anyone else got a favorite line?
I would say similarly, most of my favorite lines are Tom's. I would think out of his monologue that "You'll never take me alive" is one of my favorites. And then Marty's "He's scary" right after that. That's another good one.
Y'all know I was quoting that while watching it today.
My favorite was probably just the financial circumstances. I think that's so funny. The way Maria comes in, just like, because you're broke, actually. I think that's funny. Anyone else got one?
I'll go next. I really like Sarah's "I'm fucking crazy" line. It's a good line, and she nails it every time. It's a good line. It's a good line. And then also,
real quick, apologize to PPS admin for the language that has been used.
We're so sorry.
Just want to apologize.
I will censor myself. We weren't the ones adding in extra F-bombs.
No, absolutely not. But I also have another favorite line of Maria. She has we talked about this in the group chat while the show was playing. When Maria goes, "Hi," right, right.
Blake Quinn gives that word a million syllables. Hi.
It's so good. Oh my god, it cracks me up every time. It's so amazing. I love it so much.
I really like Malachi's. I like poor people. That makes me laugh every time.
That
is a good one.
Okay, let me grab another question. Did everyone get a chance to answer?
I think so.
No. I'm trying to see if there are any like recently that we didn't touch on last time. Any good ones? Everyone decided that they were going to start using the chat while we were doing this. Oh, this is an easily answerable one. Was it Caden that Ruby cheated on Georgia with?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it was. Here's another interesting one. Celicia and Sylvia were in the last group, but
absolutely.
But whoa,
Oh, for
really?
sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
120%.
Mm-hmm.
Can we? Oh,
subtext.
Thank you, Livy, for
It's
putting.
not even subtext. Caden said, "Are you in love with Ruby?"
It's text.
Livy, I
It's
don't fully know what this question means. What is the deal with the interpreter?
What is the deal with the interpreter? Great question. Well, we've actually delved into this on a few Discord calls or like post rehearsal discussions. Just like what is up with the interpreter? She's so mysterious and weird and has a freaky mask. What's up with that? And I think that she's just someone who came home from the war and was like, I'm here to protect people, and that's what I'm going to do now. And so that's what happened, and that's her deal. She's just here to protect and make sure that, people aren't too hurt in the world.
Yeah.
I think Eli probably knows better.
The interpreter went through a lot of different evolutions into like what their role was in the show, really, because you have this character who doesn't know the rest of the seven, who's much older, just subtext wise, and they're kind of just there. So you got to figure out like, okay, what is their role in the story, and like who is this character? And something that really, really interested me was the relationship between the interpreter and Caden. From like the beginning of drafting this play, I knew that they were going to like have something in the show. I had that idea for the ending for a while. And I think something I've landed on is there's this idea that like, we talked about this a little bit, that the interpreter is almost a reflection of Caden a little bit with like the mask reveal. And that's a cool concept. I like that.
There was a moment, the like first or second rehearsal, that I was like, what if the interpreter takes off their mask? It's Caden.
It's future Caden. Well, they are both named.
It's Finley and Finley. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. We stare into each other's eyes, and it's true understanding.
So in a way, they are the same person.
Scooch on to another question, and I want to extend this to May, do you have something quick?
I wanted to go back to the interpreter and her relationship with Sarah, because that's what I looked at a little bit more. I just think that Sarah doesn't trust any of them, and the interpreter has just been hired by her father. They do not have a history. Like, she's just a hired bodyguard. And so, like, in a way, having someone who's not involved in this is like, she's an outside party that Sarah is able to put at least a little bit of trust in, because all of these like childhood friends, she has no trust for at all. Not anymore. Not now that George is dead. So, that's just what I think.
I think we should just keep talking about the interpreter. I think she's a really interesting character. We should just really dive into.
So both in this, why did Caden kill Georgia? What were the motives? I also want to know, like, what was the motive for? Well, you know what? Never mind. The three other murderers were in the last call, or the last group. But maybe we'll get this question again tomorrow night. Finley, Green, what?
Oh.
Why did Caden?
So confusing.
Actually, we talked a lot about this, and I kind of want to leave it a little open-ended, but you.
I'll leave it somewhat open-ended.
Yeah.
I can give some background that's lightly gone over in the script, so that if anyone rewatches it, this is all stuff you can mostly find. Caden is very deeply in love with Ruby, and has been since they were kids, for a very long time. And the only reason he hasn't come to blows with Georgia up until now is because they were also best friends.
And he sort of knew deep down that by confronting Georgia, he would also most likely lose his shot at Ruby. He sort of always assumed it would peter out on its own and that he would get his chance. And as time wore on, that seemed less and less likely. And he also became closer and closer with Ruby over the summer vacation that has just started when this play takes place. And so he really feels like he's owed that relationship to Ruby, and he owes it to himself. And he's a person who's used to getting what he wants and taking what he wants, and that definitely adds into it. But it was not very premeditated, is what we were going off of. Caden gets heated very quickly, and that's what led to it. Yeah.
Lovely. This question, Eli, what was it like having your show produced along with another question? What was the inspiration for this story? Have a little Eli moment. What was your inspiration, and what was this whole process like for you?
This whole process, I'll start with that first, was so weird. Like, it's so surreal hearing people say words you've written, because part of it you're taken out of it for a second, and then you're like back in, and you're like, that sounds so familiar. Like, I'm watching this and these sound so familiar, and you're like, oh right, it's because I wrote them. So it was also just like so cool seeing what I had on the page played out in person or like over a screen, because like you never know what it's going to be like. And I discovered what it's like to have all the elements come together, because there's only a part of it is the script. That's only like one part of this, and there's all this other stuff, and there's the actors and the production, and seeing it all come together was really like mind-blowing and also incredible. And I wouldn't have asked it to be produced better than it was. As for the inspiration, I had wanted to write a show that was meant for Zoom for a while, like since the pandemic had started, because I'd seen a lot of adaptations of plays being done when like theaters were trying to figure out what to do next over Zoom. And I was like, I think we can really do something interesting with just like phone cameras. And we're in this time of social media and FaceTime, and everybody's FaceTiming and Zooming. And I was like, why don't we just put that in this show and make that about something? And then while I had this idea in my mind, I also watched I watched the movie Knives Out over the winter break, and I fell in love with it, and I fell in love with the murder mystery trope. And I put the two things together, and I was like, how do we write a show over Zoom that keeps that tension and keeps that like pace that murder mysteries have? And that was a question I kept asking myself. And I said, you know what? Let's just figure it out. And then I wrote it.
Yeah, I mean, and then I no shade to the Devise Festival, which was fantastic with what we had to work with, but it was hard watching people like bump into each other from their separate bedrooms through the Zoom screen. And when I knew that I was going to have this opportunity to direct, and I was looking at shows, I was like, I don't know how I can feel good about doing any of these over Zoom. And then I was like, hey, Eli, do you want to write a play? He said yes.
So first, it was just approached as, hey, write a show for Zoom. And I was like, yes, I've always wanted to do this. The idea of putting it, I remember pitching the idea to Lou, and I was like, okay, here's this idea. There's a hotel. They're all trapped in it. And there's bombs. And that was the whole concept.
Yep, that was all I knew. I was like, all right, let's go for it.
Good start.
Let's move on to this question. How is the transition? English. How is the transition from being on stage to Zoom, and what was helpful in that transition from live performance to live performance? Feel free to jump in.
Finley Green can start us off.
Okay.
I think that the transition was a little bit rough, honestly. Usually I'm good at memorizing things based on physical cues, which is generally my blocking or other people's blocking. So without that, it becomes very difficult to memorize lines, remember where to come in, things like that. And then another difficult part of the transition was actually not being able to move myself. It's hard to get into the headspace of the character without having that physicality attached to it. And also, it can be hard sometimes to get out of the character once rehearsal or recording is over if you don't have some sort of physical switch. So that had to be changed for me to like leaving the room I was in, something like that. And then the second part of the question was, what are some of the benefits? It's not up on screen anymore, but was that right? Is that the second half?
Someone's crunching on something. Where is it coming from?
Who's crunching? Should
I'm
everybody
gonna
mute
mute
but
each one of
Finley?
you individually.
Okay.
Okay, it's still there. Sorry, everybody.
Someone's just eating a snack, bro. I bet it's Marty. Marty's backstage eating some Chex Mix. It's gone.
It went away.
And now it's back.
No. Anyway.
That's the end of my spiel because I can't remember what the second half of the question was. But shout out to Aiden who was asking that question. He comes to everything theater related. Great person. Yeah, thank you.
He's great. Love you, Aiden. Hope he's still watching. He better be. If he's not, I'm gonna bully him later. Let's hit this question. Also from Lincoln Kids. Lots of Lincoln Kids asking us questions in the group chat. I love it.
Thank you, Lincoln.
Did you guys have any characterization you added into your acting based on knowing your character's fate to try to clue in the audience? So like, especially for you, Finley, knowing that you did the murder, what was that like having to act like you didn't do it and also like you were trying to figure out who did it when you know that you did it?
Yeah, so I threw some things in, some of which got lost in the Zoom delay. But every time someone mentions Georgia's death, Georgia's body, or finding Georgia's body, Caden looks out the window towards the river where Georgia's body was found before they finish explaining the line. So he's already on looking where Georgia's body was found before anyone has given any information about Georgia's death, the mysterious circumstances, etc. So that's definitely the main tell that I tried to work in. Everything else I tried to keep out as much as possible, besides when the blame is turned on Caden for the very first time by Clementine. That's when he gets a little flustered, and after that he's calm, and that's how I figure his character would work. He realizes he's in the danger zone a little bit, and he needs to ride it out, and he's used to acting and manipulating other people, so he's able to fit comfortably into that role until the end where he begins to break down a bit.
Gotcha. And then the rest of you legitimately did not. You really were along for the ride. No secret murder plots.
Okay, so I'm gonna say yes, murder plot, because I was really planning on killing.
Not
all
secret
of you.
murder plot.
Very
Fully
loud
public
murder
murder plot.
plot.
Very loud one. Eli's phone has gone away, so I'm going to email him that link. But while I'm doing that, how did you guys get that connection when you were all sitting alone in your rooms at your separate homes?
I mean, I think the last group kind of got to this, but just talking a lot over Discord and group chats.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. We had Discord calls that were completely unrelated to the show. But we also had a lot of really good discussions about the characters and about the show and like added a lot of backstory. Sylvia and I she really helped me out with that fan fiction thing. But I'm going
It's a good fan fiction, guys. It's really quality.
What can I say? We were running lines. We were running lines for that the scene where we tell the story about how's my tie now, Dad? Because that scene changed like halfway through production, and so we were working on it. We were trying to memorize it, and we kind of had this whole like, okay, so what does Sarah mean when she's every time you've been near a member of my family, something bad has happened. And we went into it, and we went into Sarah and Ruby, and we went into Georgia, and it was like a really great conversation, which then prompted me to write a scene about Sarah and Georgia and Ruby. But like having those conversations like they connect you with the cast, they connect you with the characters, and they're so much fun. They're like my favorite part about doing shows.
Luke called a lot of emergency meetings for no reason.
So many emergency meetings.
We have a crisis corner.
But they worked
Our
as
crisis
cast bonding. It's
Yes,
great.
it was fully a tactic. I just wanted you guys to talk to each other.
Oh, shoot.
I do not believe you.
I actually don't enjoy talking to any of you at all. It was just for the show. I'm cutting ties, moving on to the next group of people that I.
Yeah, tomorrow night we're done, dude.
Yeah, we're over.
Yeah.
No more casting.
Delete the group chat.
Yeah, I'm deleting it all. I'm blocking all of you.
You can't delete it. I own the server.
The show actually isn't going up on YouTube. Lou is permanently getting rid of it.
It's over forever. Did you guys have any questions from the last group that you wanted to answer?
Who you would play? I want to know everyone's
Oh
answer.
yeah, I want to answer that one too.
Yeah, I wanna answer that too.
Go ahead, answer it then.
Okay, Maria. Sorry, Cole, but not sorry because Maria. She was getting a lot of slander in the last.
Too much slander.
Say that Maria is so much fun. I did not read for Maria, but I should have, because I loved her monologue so much. And I was kind of hoping for Maria. I was hoping for Maria or Ruby. I love Sarah, but I was like before I had read the whole show and like I knew the characters, I was like, Maria was so interesting to me and she was so much fun. So Maria.
For me, definitely Caden, in part because I want to play an evil character. I love playing Tom. I've been told Tom is quite like me by everyone, so I have to love playing Tom. But I do also, I don't know, I like evil characters, and it would be interesting and fun to play around with everything that Caden does in the show.
Cole, I remember we were on the phone like the day before auditions, and I was like, "Who are you thinking about reading for?" And he was like, "Well, I'm really interested in Caden." And I was like, "Okay, you know I'm gonna make you read for Tom, right? Like I need to hear that."
Yeah,
and then I read for Caden, and halfway through you stopped me and said, "Okay, Cole, you know what I'm going to make you do now, right?"
Okay, I stopped halfway through. All of my cuts were too long. I apologize. I 100% stopped all of you halfway through your audition scenes.
I read for Ruby, and you were like, "Okay, so can you read Sarah now?"
Yeah, I actually just wrote Cole into the show, and Lou was like, "Okay,
That's right.
Eli, this is fine, but you have to change the name. We can't tell him that."
Yeah. I'll go. Who I want to play. I would want to play either. I have many answers. Either Sarah, Marty, or Maria, because I did read for Maria in auditions, and I liked playing with her snotty, but also insecure, and also really annoying energy, because I resonate with that. And I think Sarah's interesting in just that she's just like a person who's grieving, and when people are grieving, there's really no explanation for many of their actions, and I think that's a really interesting thing to dive into. And she's just a sad person who's expressing it very interestingly by kidnapping all her friends and holding them hostage in a hotel with bombs. And that's just her coping mechanism.
Flaws.
Exactly. It's okay. And I also just love Marty. He's just the sweetest little bean who was involved in a murder plot, but it's okay. I like him a lot. He's awesome.
Finley Green, who'd you play?
I loved playing Caden, so it's hard for me, but I think if any other character, I would probably go Tom. I gotta reciprocate for Cole here, but also Tom's character. Oh, so good. So good. So many like deep, intricate details. Such a unique character. I really like. I think it would be fun for me to unlock that side of my acting. So definitely Tom.
Finley, let's just record the show again, but we switch roles.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Do it. Record that
We
first
gotta
scene
go
and
back.
send it to me. I really want to see that.
Tomorrow
Eli,
night we're switching the.
who would you write yourself into the role of?
Should I even answer this question? It feels like I'm committing like a horrible crime if I do.
You don't have to.
I think Marty is hilarious, and I think I'd want to play Marty, but
You'd play a good Marty.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
I'm gonna like rapid fire a couple questions from the chat. Finley, where'd you get the mask?
I didn't get it. It was bought by not me. We tried on many masks and literally
Amazon.
It was the only one that didn't look horrible. So that's
mask.
It worked out well. It was scary.
And I'm seeing Tom gives me big Ovid Nadir from Community Vibes. And I just want to say we talked about that so much. Like there was this whole conversation about like which community character is each character. It's like who, and so that was really I liked seeing that.
I mean, I do love Community.
I'm seeing Lou tell us the secrets. No, I will not. Lots of questions from Meg that aren't real questions. Ooh, here's a really interesting one from Athena. If you could change the ending, what would happen?
George is alive. George faked his death and he didn't die. And in all of the like scheming and not scheming is about it. Like just like figuring out the characters, I think a lot of us got really attached to Georgia. Despite the fact that he is not in the show. He is not
I think that's mainly you, actually.
He is dead. Okay, it's not just me. It's not just me. It's not just me.
Okay, maybe just keep telling yourself that.
You agreed with me when we last talked about this.
Let's.
No, Georgia's great. We love Georgia. We're gonna stop picking on you. I'm sorry.
The fictional unnamed. Okay. Can we get a bit of an explanation for the duckling metaphor, please?
No.
Explanations. Yes, Libby.
That would be
yes,
great.
you
Can we?
Finley's like, I have no idea what I was talking about.
Or an Eli question, I think.
Okay.
He was like, yeah, what was the inspiration behind that?
Sure. Well, in the forefront of the metaphor? Yes, the forefront of the metaphor, it could be about Finley wasn't written in the show. Caden. It could be about Caden's desire to be with Ruby and like how he would follow her into anything, right? Into doing anything for her. But I think something else about the show is all the like powers or like all the like string pulling people on the outside of the show. Like we hear so many things about these parents and the living conditions that these people are living in, and like this weird like horrible culty like they call all their parents mommy and daddy and like all that weird stuff. And there's all these like
horrible,
I think there's this huge pressure around like pleasing parents and being on top. And we see it with, we hear about Georgia's father and probably with Caden's father too, as he talks about like doing horrible things to the Earth's surface. And I think a part of it, you know, is also the metaphor of following is like the father-son tradition and like the roots in that. And I think that also comes into the interpreter's character as this moment in the end of the show where the interpreter's like, I've never killed anyone before, by the way. Like, I know you thought I did, but I didn't. And all these assumptions from being in this position of power that Caden has that I think are broken down maybe in these last moments with him and the interpreter.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what you were thinking, right, Caden? That's what you're thinking, Finley?
So, yeah.
You did.
I mean,
I like that you're calling
no,
him
actually
Caden
was
and
texting Saul to Eli as we talked, just having.
Yeah, I was like, Finley says. Oh, wow.
Eli's reading off a teleprompter. Which Finley would win in a fight?
Are we talking about characters or actually?
Clearly Finley.
Finley would win.
Okay.
Definitely.
I think I'm gonna have to go with
Finley would win.
Finley
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm scrolling through to make sure we haven't missed anything. We have been answering questions for about an hour now. This is a long
It's almost as long as the show.
Who was best dressed?
The interpreter.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Amy. I had a great
Okay,
mask
I'm
and a
gonna
great
say
suit.
interpreter, Caden, or Tom. Actually, all of them.
I'm sorry. I picked out the costumes for everyone. I really love them all.
In no way is
all
Tom
of
the
the
best
dresses are
dressed.
so great. I love Tom and his little bow tie, and Caden's all black. And the interpreter, all of them.
There was not a single time. There was not a single time in that first scene where I was able to actually get the bow tie and the
Dude, listen, here's the thing. That is my bow tie that I lent to Cole. That bow tie is insufferable. It's so hard to tie. It's so irritating. I felt so bad the first time I saw you try it in a run through. I was like, Cole, no, I'm so sorry. It's a nightmare.
There were multiple times where we would run through the show and I'd be putting on, like, I'd be buttoning it up. And as I sit down and I see what I am dressed as, I'm like, oh, I buttoned this really incorrectly.
Well, and I had you doing costume runs before you were memorized. Like, and so I'm glad that you got that extra practice while reading from the, like, well, what would I do first? I would make an icicle in my freezer basement. What is that, by the way, Eli? A freezer basement? Is that a real thing?
Yes, it is.
The whole basement is a freezer.
Yeah. He's rich. I don't know what you want me to say. They need a place for the alcohol.
All right.
He hoses down the floor to his basement.
I don't know what's
and freezes
happening,
it
but I
over.
can hear my family laughing downstairs.
Always a good sign.
We're being funny, apparently. You know, I think my parents are still watching this in our basement. Hi, Mom and Dad.
They're
I'm
just
gonna say hi
watching
to
a
my
Bo Burnham
parents.
special.
Hi, parents. I think you're gone.
Hey.
All right. Well, I think that it is time for us to come to a close. Thank you all for coming to the show. Thank you all for coming. It was so great to have such an engaged audience. I'm glad that you guys had questions, asked questions. I'm glad we could answer some of them. If you have any more, you probably have a way to contact all of us. If you don't, you can email ghsthespian1657@gmail.com. Yeah, I'm glad you all enjoyed. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow night for the same thing except different questions. Bye, everyone.